Hey writers, how's it going? It's Mike, and it's another episode of Get Them Words In. I want to talk today about something that's unique to Christian writers specifically, but definitely something that non-Christian writers should consider and should definitely maybe incorporate into their lives as part of like healthy rhythms of writing life, that kind of stuff. So today I want to talk about Sabbath, about resting, and not just taking a day off. There is difference between taking a day off from your work and then Sabbathing from your work. These are different concepts. They share a lot of stuff, but there are different concepts. You can take a day off from writing and spend the whole day working your day job. Okay, like when I finally get another day job, that's what it's going to be like. I'm going to, write in the mornings. I'm going to go to a day job, and I will have worked at both endeavors, like both endeavors. I won't be resting from the work. But Sabbath is different. Sabbath requires you to rest, to purposely do things that are restful, that kind of thing. And this is important in a writer's life because you can be completely absorbed into your life where everything has to revolve around your writing schedule, where your loved ones have to respect your writing schedule, all that kind of stuff. And it can get to an unhealthy place where you're not resting, not only not resting for yourself, but not resting with them. Stephen King kind of talks like this. He talks in his book on writing about not taking days off, but I want you to pay attention to how he structures his days and his life in the next passage I'm going to write. So, where is it here? My own schedule is pretty clear-cut. Mornings belong to whatever is new, the current composition. Afternoons are for naps and for letters, and evenings are for reading, family, Red Sox games on TV, and if any revisions that just can't wait. Basically, mornings are my prime writing time. Once I start work on a project, I don't stop. I don't slow down unless I absolutely have to. If you don't write every day, then the characters begin to stale off in my mind. They begin to seem like characters instead of real people. The tale's narrative cutting edge starts to rust, and I begin losing my hold on the story and the plot and the pace. Worst of all, the excitement of spinning something new begins to fade. The work starts to feel like work. And for most writers, that's the smooch of death. Writing is at its best, always, 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 when it is a kind of inspired play for the writer. I can't write in cold blood. I have to. I can write in cold blood if I have to, but I like it best when it's fresh, almost too hot to handle. I used to tell interviewers that I wrote every day except for Christmas, the 4th of July, and birthdays. And that was a lie. I told them that because if you agree to an interview, you have to say something. And it pays to say plays better if it's something at least half clever. Also, I didn't want to sound like a workaholic dweeb, just a workaholic, I guess. The truth is that when I'm writing, I write every day, workaholic dweeb or not. That includes Christmas, the 4th of July, and my birthday, and at my age, you try to ignore your goddamn birthday anyway. And when I'm not working, I'm not working at all, although during those periods, full stop, I usually feel at the loose ends of myself and have trouble sleeping. For me, not working is the real work. When I'm writing, it's all a playground, and the worst 3 hours I ever spent were still pretty damn good. I don't know if you pick up on it, but it's a really interesting kind of balance that he plays with his personal life, and I think it's amazing. I've listened to a lot of Stephen King's talks about writing and interviews with other authors and stuff like that, and he really does kind of embody kind of the modern idea of like what a writer's life should be. And I want you to notice that he understands that the writing doesn't go away because it is a work of the mind. It doesn't get out of him, the writing. Like, writing doesn't stop for him every day, including 4th of July and Christmas and his birthday, because it's an exercise of the mind and you can't get away from your mind. And even the days where he's not working on an active project, it's still kind of there, and so it's work to not work, that kind of stuff. So what does he do? Instead of, just burning himself out by working all the time, like, hey, it is what it is, he instead structures his day. He has like a structured work time that's non-negotiable, where he just works in the morning. And he talks about in the book where he cranks out about 10 pages a day, 2,000 words. Like, that's a lot of work. He structures his day like that and then weans the work off throughout the rest of the day, unless only emergency revisions kind of show up at night for him. And he structures it so that he can always have rest. So that it's not just work, and then, supper, bed, and then get back up to work. that can be really easy for a lot of people to get into, especially with writing, especially if you're not working a day job and your writing doesn't have restrictions and it can consume all of your time. Well, then you could just write throughout the whole day and never really spend any time with your family, friends, people that you need to get into your life because it's good for your soul. And that's kind of what Sabbath is about. It's about carving out that time for you to be good, like not just successful, not just physically fit, but like good on the inside, being good with your relationships, being good with your rest levels, being good with your intake on stuff, all that kind of thing. It's good that way, and that's what you need to be able to do. It's Sabbath, and I think King, though he probably doesn't call it this way, worked that into every day. You can see how he wakes up and he just nails his work. He really does like drive into it as an author when he's writing. On writing, he really shows that that's when the work happens, and then it trails off to just family time in the week or in the on the evenings and stuff like that. It's a very structured life, but it structures in a time where he rests. I don't know about you, but as he points it out here, evenings are for reading, family, Red Sox games on TV, and any other revisions that cannot wait. Those three things, reading, family, and sports on TV, that is leisure. That is leisure, and it is a wonderful thing when you have that kind of stuff. When you can put your feet up and read a couple chapters of a book that you're working through, and then snuggle with your kids on the couch and tickle them, and have a great time, and then go watch football with your older kids. That is the fat of life, and it is completely worth structuring your life around. And so for me, that's Sundays. Today I didn't write. I'm probably not going to write. There's a lot of stuff that I want to write. But for me today, aside from the right now 6:53 minutes that I've put into this video, it has been nothing but just making sure that the chores are done upstairs so that my wife's happy about the kitchen, about sitting on the couch with my daughter and just zoning out on our phones, about sitting with my kid in his bedroom as he's playing a video game and really frustrated with the level, and sending my oldest off on a date with his girlfriend. That's what Sabbath is. It's this rest. It's this rest that you have to do. And I strongly encourage you as writers, if you're deciding that you want to write, that you work that in somehow. Maybe it's a day off, and I mean a day off where you go to church and you have a potluck and you have friends over and you don't do the writing, and it just gets to kind of sit in the back of your head going, okay, but Monday we're going to write that scene, right? Monday we're going to write that awesome scene that you've been thinking about. No writing, just family, friends, and rest for you. And if you work that in, that's great. And if it's just evenings where you say, the second the sun's down, I'm not a writer anymore, I'm a husband, I'm a father, I'm a friend, I'm a roommate, I'm that kind of stuff, and you just shut it off so that you can be that person. It's good for your soul. It's good for you to do that rest, to make it a part of your life, and to routinely come to that spot where you can, I'm not going to say recharge, because there's extroverts and introverts and all that kind of stuff, but it's important to get to that spot so that you can participate in something that's not just your mind, because you are not just your mind, you're your body, and your body needs to interact with people. It needs to be fed with good food, hear amazing jokes, and feel hot and cold temperatures, all that kind of stuff. You are more than just your body. So I want to leave more than just your mind. You're your body too, and I want to leave you with that you find a time for your body to rest, so that the writing you can do its best work, when it's time to do its best work. So hope you like it. Again, from Stephen King's On Writing. Definitely pick this up. Definitely pick up the paperback, which shows his awesome office. And as always, get them words in.